This was a player who had everything to become Barcelona legend and one of the brightest talents in the club's history. Watching his highlights, you can't help but think, this kid was no less talented than Lamine Yamal. The technique, the movement, the vision of the game, everything about Ruiz-Atil stood out. He was once called the new Messi, though to me he looked more like the new Ronaldinho. A player with that kind of label was always going to carry huge expectations, and yet today almost no one remembers him. Ruiz-Atil was one of those La Masia players who looked destined to become a jewel of the first team. Instead, Barcelona lost him. So who exactly is Ruiz-Atil? Why was he once considered one of La Masia's brightest stars? How did he end up at PSG, and what happened to him after that? I was young and reckless. I didn't see the dangers, I didn't listen to anyone and thought I knew it all, though I knew nothing about life. When I was left without a club, I cried. I'll never repeat the mistakes of the past. I can't afford to make mistakes anymore. This is my last chance, says Ruiz today, a player for Royal Franks Bahrain's in Belgium's second division. Ever heard of that club? Neither had I. So how did he end up there? It's a long story full of crazy twists, and I'm ready to tell you. Was a prodigy out of La Masia, an attacking midfielder with a rare gift for breaking down defensive lines. At Barça, they expected the kid born in 2002 to be a first-team star by the 2019-2020 season, the same moment when Ansu Fati, his peer, exploded onto the scene. And that probably would have happened if not for Barcelona's transfer ban. In 2014, FIFA ruled that the club had violated regulations on signing underage players. The issue wasn't about talent, but about paperwork and compliance. Barcelona had brought in several youngsters from abroad without registering them under the strict rules for international transfers. Those rules are clear. Moves across borders are only allowed after the age of 18, except in specific cases. For example, if the parents relocate for reasons unrelated to football. It was exactly this loophole that PSG later used to bring to Paris. FIFA found that Barça had signed kids from Asia, Africa, and beyond who didn't qualify for exceptions. The punishment was unprecedented. A 2-window transfer ban, a huge fine, and most importantly, a ban on those kids playing official matches. And this is where Ruiz's drama began. He was among the boys forbidden to take the field. Training was allowed, but official games were strictly off limits. For a 12 or 13-year-old, that's almost a death sentence. No development, no competitive experience, no chance to prove you're special. Imagine how painful that was. Your friends get to play and score while you stand aside, all because of paperwork that should have been handled properly. For the Ruiz family, the decision was hard but inevitable. In 2015, they packed their bags and moved to Paris. PSG gave what Barça couldn't, the right to play official football again. But the move came with controversy. In 2018, Mediapart published Football League's documents claiming PSG had given father a fake scouting job to justify the relocation. The deal reportedly included a salary of €3,200 per month plus a €30,000 bonus in July 2015. On paper, the family moved for work, not for Casey's career. In the end, no legal consequences followed for PSG or the family, but the story left a stain. Nasser Al-Khelaifi was like a second father to me. I was his little protege. He did everything to make sure my family settled well in Paris, that we had the best conditions. He held everything. Case once said. And in Paris, he quickly caught the eye. Coaches saw a kid with a different level of talent. Soon he was training with the first team. The PSG stars also noticed. Some were convinced it was only a matter of time before he became a starter. Others sensed that something beyond football wasn't quite right. Ander Herrera told the story years later. I remember after one of his first training sessions, I said to Di Maria, "This kid is really good." And Di Maria said, "Forget it. Look at his car. Look at him wearing Dior shorts in his first week. Forget it. He won't make it." I argued, that doesn't matter, and he told me, "Trust me, you'll see." And in the end, he was right. Later, he asked me, "Remember?" Herrera also recalled in the podcast Tango Un Plan. That first year training with us, he went on holiday by private jet. He was 17 or 18 at that time. He eventually made his PSG debut, appearing in 7 games and playing 182 minutes in total. In Paris, they called him the Golden Boy, believing he would be part of the club's future. The hype was similar to another La Masia recruit, Xavi Simons, who has since made a blockbuster move from Leipzig to Tottenham. PSG believed in Ruiz, but soon he made a decision that changed everything. He told PSG he would not renew his contract. Instead, he accepted an offer to return to Barcelona. With his deal running out, Barcelona brought him back easily in the summer of 2021. For CULES, it felt like winning the lottery, one of La Masia's brightest talents coming home, for free, ready to finally debut at Camp Nou. It was his second chance, in the city he loved, at the club he adored. His family had a long history with Barcelona. He was born in Lyon in 2002, but moved with his parents to Catalonia to Can Vidalet and Esplugues at age 7. Barcelona picked him up and he wore the Blaugrana for 6 years until FIFA sanctions cut his path short. By 2021, he was back, convinced he could rewrite his story. He joined Barça B, one step away from the first team, still young enough to dream. But coaches quickly realized he was unmanageable. Within a year, Barcelona unilaterally terminated his contract even though it was supposed to run until 2024. The club had grown tired of his behavior. Beyond the injuries and physical issues, Barça grew wary of his repeated incidents. He broke team rules, ignored discipline. Coach Sergi Barjuan warned him multiple times, gave him chances, but eventually realized he couldn't count on him. In his last 8 matches, he didn't play. Finally, Barça showed him the door, wrote Sport Yes. And the side's director, Joan Vale, summed it up with a damning inside scoop. Case Ruiz-Atil has been released from the B team due to discipline problems. His neighbors called the club several times to complain about the usual night parties. In the summer of 2022, he signed a 3-year contract with Auxerre. Ligue 1 for Lens Trust, it looked like another restart. On the 31st of August, he started against Lyon. Symbolic, beautiful, almost like destiny. The press again praised his talent, but that night was the peak, not the beginning. After that, he disappeared. One game for the reserves, whispers of no progress, poor fitness, lack of work ethic. Teammates spoke of tardiness, missed training, slow effort. New coach Christophe Pellissier had no room for luxury players, he needed fighters. Case faded into the reserves and his Auxerre story amounted to just 153 minutes of official play. By the summer of 2023, his contract was terminated. 3 years cut down to 1. Then came nearly a year in limbo, until Royal Franks Borains in Belgium offered him a lifeline. At 23, he seems to have finally found a turning point. In May last year, he reflected in an interview with Ons Mondial. I was young, carefree, I didn't see danger. I didn't listen to anyone. I thought I knew everything, when I knew nothing about life. If someone said, come on, let's go, I went. I mixed with the wrong crowd. I didn't listen. I only did what I wanted. I was badly influenced, with nights out, with girls, with little youthful mistakes. Case Ruiz-Atil could have been Barcelona's next magician, but instead he followed the wrong influences. Today he is fighting for his career in Belgium's 2nd division. With the right mentality, he might have reached the level of Pedri, because when you watch him with the ball, those touches and passes are pure magic. What a shame. CULES. If you want to discover more incredible stories about Barca's lost talents, La Masia secrets, and the rise and fall of future stars, download the Barcelona Live app. The link is in the pinned comment. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this story, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you soon.